going on, everybody? FSC Trucking. Alright, I got a new and exciting video for you. Just leaving the shop here, my shop, and we got Orwell already fired up, ready to go. We got him serviced yesterday. I had to finish up a little this morning, but now we're ready to go. We're getting ready to take this big old load out to Massachusetts. We got 2 stops. We got a generator, and we've got staircases, 2 of them for the generator. And then in the very back, the last stop, we have a trash pump, and that's got to go to Massachusetts as well. So generator, staircase, then the trash pump. That's how we're doing it this morning, boys and girls. So now we're getting ready to get going and head on south and then east. And then Monday, kick off the generator because we got a Monday morning crane appointment for the generator and that staircase. Now it's a little tight right there. Well, let me show you how we did this. This is how they ship these, believe it or not. So the idea was the generator's got to ride with the big unit towards the back, and then the fuel tank, a very large one, goes to the front. That bit of overhang, so the staircase rides on the top deck and it overhangs this. So what we've done is we've strapped the ever-loving crap out of it and put some carpeting in the middle. Up there, I don't know if you can see it or not, right up there is carpeting, and then another piece right there to keep it from hitting together. Strap over, and then 2 cross straps, and then another cross strap up and over. These straps keep it from going forward, these straps keep them going backwards, and these straps keep it on the trailer. And then we nailed the board down to make absolutely sure it won't come back. Put a spare tire to hold the board to make absolutely sure that the board won't move and the stairs won't move, because, yeah, there ain't much room here to just bloop. Well, if it does, it won't go far, but the idea is we don't want to scratch nothing. So that's how it's done. And then, of course, that left us this little bitty back deck available. So, utilized absolutely every inch of this wagon. That's how it's done. Stay loaded, that's the idea, or as loaded as you can. All right, so with that, the star of the show, not me. I'm just your humble host. This is Orwell. Orwell, if you're new to the channel, is my 1984 Peterbilt 362 Cabover. I regularly run this truck. A lot of guys, there's some out there to do, but a lot of guys, they just show these trucks. This ain't no show truck. I've got the ugliest rim in YouTube history, and I love it that way. Orwell's a regular running truck. We use Orwell on the regular. So that's how we do it around here. We just run old school equipment. We do trucking old school around here. There's no farting around with all this fugazi computers, all this modern nonsense that always breaks down, gives you troubles. I mean, Orwell has broke down a time or 2. Equipment breaks. It's just the way it goes. But I don't have all that modern nonsense causing me issues. I've just got old school nonsense causing me issues. Heck, I might be some of my own issues. But with that, let's go ahead and get this day started. Put this stuff in gear and get rumbling down the road. Let's go. Alrighty, let's get this showboat on the road. As always, boys and girls, you know what time it is. Orwell's itching, ready to go. I'll wait for this car. roll that beautiful cold footage. That's right. I'm in a good mood. I don't want to ruin it. Yeah, so long story short, we're going to get trucking, stroll on. I got to swing by the yard real quick, drop off paperwork. And then that's that on the rest of the way. So the battle plan is we're just going to run. Well, I don't really know how I'm going to run. We're going to run Indiana, Ohio Toll Road. I don't know if I want to run 90 across New York or 80 through Pennsylvania, 81, 84 up through Connecticut, and then up into Massachusetts that way. I haven't really looked into it that far. I got time to think about it. Guess we'll see how I'm feeling when we get down that way, right? Of course, as always, there's the constant struggle, which is life of a YouTuber truck driver trying to figure out the best ways to make these videos fun and entertaining. Last week was a real good week, kept us real busy. This week so far seems to be going even better. I shouldn't say even better, but just as good. Good week. Kind of comes and goes. Well, I'm kind of lying. From the last bunch of videos till now, I took some time off, 3-4 days, got caught up on editing, got caught up on some stuff at the shop, serviced Orwell, took care of a couple odd end issues that were, just there, because, it's an old truck, you're gonna have some issues pop up. It was general maintenance. I had to replace an air hose on the back of the truck, and I basically serviced it, greased it, adjusted the brakes, all that fun crap. Went over it, made sure everything still worked. Basic stuff. But it takes a lot longer than you think. Servicing a truck, if I do it myself, just the service alone is usually 2 to 3, maybe 4 hours, depending on how deep I get into it. But I've often said, too, the best inspection tool a truck will ever have is a grease gun. Because if you're crawling underneath the truck, greasing it, you're looking at stuff. You're noticing things. You're looking at everything underneath all your components. So when you're doing that, that's when you notice how things are going. And then when I adjusted my brakes, I run the truck up, bring the air pressure up, shut the engine off, pop it in gear, chock the wheels, and then release park brake so I can go adjusting them. That's when I found I had a little hissing noise coming out of one of the hoses going to one of my Maxes. Slight little hiss, but a hiss nonetheless. So I went out and replaced that hose, good to go. Holds air perfect now, so I ain't worried about it. Ooh, that bird almost died in the cause of going left instead it went right. Oops. Hey, he still made it though, I think. As long as I didn't hit him with the load, I guess we're okay. Oh, that was funny too. I didn't have the camera going. I wished I did. When I pulled into the shop, I had my windows rolled open, both sides. And I come rolling in, there was a bird hanging on my enclosed trailer. As soon as I come circling around the park, he flew right into the truck and he landed on the dashboard. and he was wandering back and forth between the dash and the windshield trying to figure out. And I'm just sitting there, I popped my door open, I'm just sitting there trying to like shoo him. And he finally flew out, but he was in there for a minute. And then he doubled back around and he landed in the staircase of the generators there. I rolled the windows up quick. I'm like, that bird's confused. Either he wants a ride. I'm like, it's starting to get cold this time of year. If that bird wants to fly south, this truck ain't flying south. It's flying east. Well, if the bird's dumb, he's gonna wind up in Massachusetts. Personally, I'd get to flying. But yeah, I thought that was quite funny, that bird landing in the truck. I've heard stories of birds, owls, large birds, hitting the mirrors and flopping into the truck. Let me know if that's ever happened to you, or birds wind up in the truck. It's not uncommon that you get a bird in the shop. I've had that many times. Leave the door open and one just gets lost, flies on in the shop. And their natural instinct is to fly up. And if the door doesn't go all the way to the peak of the roof, it takes them a while to figure out. They have to descend down, fly out the window, and then go up. And the more you try to chase them out, the more skittish they get, and the least likely they are to fly up. Or fly down to go out the door, I should say. The more scared they are, the more up they want, and they just bounce off the ceiling and walls. Start I'm not gonna say a video series, but we're gonna start getting into some stuff with my sons. Start bringing the channel more into the life a little bit, and other stuff beyond trucking, and try to expand outward a little bit. I used to think about doing it with other channels, and maybe I'll still do that, but more in depth with other things. But it's September now, at least while I'm filming. It's last week of September, basically. Well, just about. And we're planning on a trip back to Glamis around Christmas time. Get Sean's Jeep out there and get Matthew out there. And Matt's looking to buy a small dune buggy, like a small sand rail. It's possible by the time you see this video, I've already found one and bought it for him. But I started looking around, and everything around here is out of Michigan because Silver Lake Sand Dunes is out there. I shouldn't say everything. There's a few of them I saw in Wisconsin, Illinois. So they're all around, but he's looking for basic kind of tube frame dune buggy, Volkswagen engine based, standard transmission, you know, basic kind of dune buggy like that's what he's looking for. And I talked to a couple people, and I might film that, at least quick in and out. Not gonna make a whole video of it. I'll stick it in and update, I guess, kind of in a trucking video. I think that's how I'm gonna work it. basic plan I have is I'm gonna ride when I get back from this particular trip this week. Matt's gonna send me the money to get a car for him, and then I'm gonna go out and go get him one where he's living. Now, both my sons live down south, like the southeastern United States. That's how I'll really give out what they're doing and where they're living. But they don't live together. They have a plentiful separation between the two, but they're within a day's drive of each other, which is good for them. Of course, I'm like in a lone outpost up here in Wisconsin. Boo, is what it is. Although I am increasingly thinking about Tennessee, but again, the yard's up here. It's just the easiest way to make a living is be near the yard. But with that being said, so I'm thinking about taking a dually, going out, finding a car, look at 2 or 3 of them. I'll bring the trailer with me, and when I find one I like, I'll just snag her up, put her on the trailer, and bring it home. Start getting it ready for sand dunes. Then we got to start getting Sean's Jeep ready, because there's a whole tire caper with the Jeep. He had a lot of issues with tires. Long story short, he bought the Jeep brand new, and then he brought it here to me, and then flew home. And last year what we did was I towed the Jeep and my Razor in my enclosed trailer, and we went out to Glamis, and we were tent camping, because at the time, and I still don't, have a truck camper. Hence, that's why I bought the dually, because the other truck just wasn't big enough, didn't have enough weight carrying capacity of single rear wheels to haul the trailer heavily loaded and a big truck camper in the load bed. So I can't have a massive one. I can't have the overhang really beyond the bumper by much. So I have to have like a shorter one that doesn't overhang the back of the truck. That's fine. But the boys will still be intense, or they can stay in the trailer if it gets too windy and nasty. But he bought the Jeep brand new. We did some off-roading with it, and then I mean, that's the reason he bought it. He bought it as a toy. You know, it's a brand new Jeep, but it was a brand new toy, and of course it was time to modify said toy. So we went to Glamis, or even playing at Silver Lake. You know, you got to let the air out of the tires. Silver Lake, you don't really go all that fast for very long, but in Glamis, there are some mighty long straightaways you can really get them loose in. Starting to think the whole world's coming down the street. Any tire for that matter, if you run it underinflated, unless they're designed to be under low inflation, you hurt them if you drive them too long on low inflation. Now, some know, some don't, but when you're off-roading in like sand and soft mud and all of that, you want to air your tires down, and a lot more if you're in soft, really soft sand. Now, Glamis is really soft sand. I mean, to be honest, it's very hard to walk on. In places, just because it's so soft. Runs stock the way it came from the factory with 5 BF Goodrich all-terrain TA tires on it, and those I think run like 35, 38 PSI normally, somewhere in that range. When you're in the sand, it was recommended to us you run 10 in the back, 12 in the front. And that Jeep went all over Glamis absolutely like a boss. That Jeep did so well. I've got video on it. It's on FSC Speed Shop channel of that Jeep at the top of China Wall out there in Glamis, which is not an easy feat to do. But he got her done. However, he ran it so far, so long, we were out there like a week, that he damaged the tires and no one really thought about it. We figured we didn't really drive all that far, it didn't hurt nothing. Well, the Jeep came back here in the trailer, and then we put a lift kit on it, and then he came up and drove the Jeep back home down south, and it made it no trouble. But then he was riding on the highway, and he blew his left front steer tire, left front out on the highway. And did some major damage when that tire come off. Ripped the fender right off the Jeep, actually. You're lucky it didn't kill him, to be honest. He had a widowmaker. That's what happened. So now we know. We put the spare on it, and he drove it back home. He never made it to where he was going. He had to go home and switch cars. So he kept it under 60 and it shook real bad. So now he needs all new tires for the Jeep. And now we know we need a set of sand tires for the Jeep. Tires exclusively for the sand. And that's where he's at with that. So long story short, I'm thinking about bringing you into the process of getting ready for Glamis. Now I got friends of mine out there that live actually in Arizona, and he's actually the one guy in the videos that taught us how to dune properly, which is really helpful. But he's coming out there, a bunch of people coming out there with him, so there should be a bunch of people, and that's the basic plan. Is we're planning on being at Glamis Christmas to New Year's. And man, oh man, I cannot wait. So I'm thinking about bringing you guys along. Like I said, the acquisition of a sand car for Matt, getting everything ready to go, getting the Jeep tires fixed up, ready to ride, getting them ordered, installed, whatever, and then figuring out how the Jeep is going to arrive in Glamis. He's planning on driving the Jeep to Glamis, or possibly to Texas. We'll meet in Texas, visit mom and dad for a little bit, and then we'll throw everything in the trailer and then go to Glamis. That's kind of what I'm thinking, but I don't know about the stop in Texas. But it would be nice to see mom and dad again. So that's the plan. Kinda. Let me know if you guys want to see that stuff.